Hi everyone, it's Rita. Welcome to my channel. I channel in the Akashic Records. I use the pathway prayer process most of the time to open up the Akasha of things. And I've opened up the Schumann Resonance field June 2021, the year 2023. And as soon as I was opening it up, I was sort of hearing so for me, I had kind of like a headache, and over the weekend, and I'd just been to LA for this was amazing ECM event and group, and met a ton of people, and I was like, am I getting COVID? And then I gave a ride to somebody that was a really bizarre scenario, who's associated with this mystery school. And I started having all these thoughts. Is somebody in my field? Do I have COVID? I had these kind of downward spiraling thoughts. So I was like putting myself in a tube of light. I was doing energy pullouts on my head, and gosh, I had to lay down in the afternoon a couple times. And I was just like, this is like, doesn't feel good. I contacted a friend of mine who can clear negative energies. And she's just like, maybe you're detoxing. I can't really tell, but it was like more like that, right? And I am taking this amazing product that I'll tell you about at some point, the more I take it, because I really want to feel good about it. But I feel really good about it right now. Anyway, when I was opening up the records, what it was telling me is that we are all vibrating higher because we're releasing paradigms, like these belief systems we have around all sorts of things in our space, like whether it's our banking system, our political system. Like, we're starting to question all this stuff. Like, are these people really taking care of us? Is leadership stuff? What are we? Because as we vibrate higher, we're starting to either question things or believe more in ourselves and what our power is, and question, like, who are we? And there's a lot of people out there talking about that. So everyone's sort of talking about it. And what that does is, as we release the connection, the energetic connection to these institutions and these systems, they will crumble and something new will be built from them. So really, like, totally trust that. Trust yourself, and know that there's nothing negative with this. It's just the frequencies that are interplaying with us. As our frequencies change, it's just expanding more, and it's expanding us. And that's kind of why it might look like DNA to people, and people are out there like playing the music slower and faster and stuff, and you can hear all sorts of stuff, and people are like saying, is that alien noise? Like, sometimes, it's interesting, quote, the alien noise to me sounds like whales talking and singing. And so isn't that interesting, right? So anyway, we're all starting to kind of question what this reality is as well. And so that's just increasing our frequency because we were releasing these paradigms. And so just be trusting that. And then what I heard from me, because my friend Kate is like, Rita, I felt like I had a little bit of a headache, but then I just felt like, all this energy. And I was like, wow, I wish that had been me. So I was asking about it, and they were like, part of it is it's the religious sort of belief you were raised in around source. So we have all these chakras, right? We have a lot of chakras above us, and there's a chakra above us where we connect more with source. And I remember when I started working with this guy, Dr. Jim Cox, who taught Barbara Brennan, and one of his body typologies is actually in her Healing Hands book. And she would open energy schools all over the world. And I got drawn to him when I came back from South Africa. And he did a thing on me, and he could feel there was a block up there. And he said to me, it's just like you had a resistance to telling people you were gay, that you were afraid you'd be discriminated against. And he said, you've worked with God or source before, and you have a hard time owning that based on your upbringing, that you feel that that's above you. And so he cleared that. But apparently it wasn't as clear as it could be, because what I was hearing was, for a lot of people that are having really strong, headaches or exhaustion and things like that, it's because we still don't have a clear belief. Like, we haven't cleared that understanding that we are all one, and we're connected to source, and we're a part of source, And I don't really know the differences with energies and stuff like that. But, you know, as far as like working with God and things like that, I don't know really what that means. And so it did actually, I did question a lot of stuff after working with him, but also trying to trust me more and trust the lifetimes I've had here and the things that I've done. So anyway, so what else do we need to know about the Schumann resonance? So there is this interplay between our energy and the energy outside of here, and to just kind of really trust it. The scientist who was part of discovering the Schumann resonance, like, it could have been expanded more if there were scientists that came forward that were supported in that belief. And so if there are people drawn to it and want to understand it more, and share it more, and they will be allowed to do that. We are vibrating energy that's connected to the all. And if you want to learn more, it would be ideal, because it's sort of been suppressed. And there's still a lot more to learn from the Schumann resonance field. And it touches on sacred geometry, which is intertwined with sound and frequency, which is, you know, what we are. They want me to mention, so I started a film project here in Sedona, where I am now, and it was really a curiosity around our energy and the elements, and, you know, how do things change? What's the interplay, if anything, you know, and just being really open to that, because I am a very open, curious person.